Okay, let's finish up our investigation into this patch with finally the kick sound up here created by the Trummor. But then also want to focus on this clock divider by Count Modula. We see right here, so I'm using this in addition to, so this is basically doing more of what these three kind of sub-clocks are doing on the clocked by impromptu. Whereas with clocked, we can choose whether we want to make it a faster or slower clock. For clocked divider, it takes the kind of input clock in right here, and it just creates slower clocks based on some other ratios. So I'm kind of using a ratio of divided by 2 here, which is triggering my kind of fat oscillator kick sound, and then divided by 4 to go out to our noise sound. So what clock divider can do here, in mode I just have it set to binary. So these numbers you see, let me do a little something here. Let's do camel. Let's make those disappear just for a moment. So we see 3 numbers here. This corresponds to the different modes. So binary 1, binary 2 would be these numbers here, like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. If we select decimal mode, then it will be, the clock will be divided by these middle numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if we choose prime number mode, it'll be this final set of numbers, which are all prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So I just want a normal old binary, like easily dividable ratios of this here. So let's listen to this. So we'll hear the kick every kind of divided by 2 of the main clock, and then the noise every 4. Okay, and then obviously those are going into the delay also. That's causing that delay that you hear. So this one really just you gotta get your hands dirty, dive in. On the left side here, we basically have setting attack, hold, decay. So it's got a kind of a built-in envelope. So instead of ADSR, this is kind of the same thing. Hold would be kind of a sustain situation. OSC2 is like kind of a sub kick, so it's going to be an octave even lower. So if you want like really, really low, thick sound, and then wave and shaper are just kind of causing different shapes to that wave, slightly more gnarly, slightly softer. So let's hear that actually. Shaper. Okay. And then I showed it before, this bend in time is, so bend in time is going to cause a kind of pitch envelope. So with bend, we can imagine, I'll put this up a little bit, when we first hit the gate right here, if bend aside, the pitch of the oscillator determined by this tune is going to start really high, and then over a certain amount of time, which we determine here, it's going to go down to whatever bass tune is actually. So we can hear that like this. So with a lot of bend, with a little bit of time, that means so the sound is actually starting really high and then sweeping to a low frequency, but it's doing that in a very quick amount of time. So that causes this really crisp, like pew, like laser sound with that. So with this, I want it to be a little bit softer, so I keep the bends down, something like that. There you go. And then tune, you can move this around if you want. So lots of great settings. We can modulate all this stuff. This one has a modulation router. So here, if we plugged in like an LFO, random, any other CV, and increase the attenuverter a little bit here, we could then click that, and then let's say click decay. So any modulation, any CV coming into this input would now affect the decay parameter. So that's a pretty cool, flexible router. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So if we wanted the oscillator and the noise to be triggered simultaneously, we could just do something like this, right? Gate will trigger both, and then there'd be like output, so like both together we could send somewhere. But I wanted to have these a little bit separate. So let's listen to the noise. And let's play with this a little bit. Maybe hold, bring it down. Let's do actually a bandpass. Increase resonance. There we go. So if hold is up a little bit higher, this res comb, it's a comb filter, so it's going to give this really gnarly, very digital sound to it. But maybe I want a really crisp sound right now. Just like that. And let's hear both together. Okay. So maybe that's good for this patch. We spent enough time with that. So let's have a listen to the whole thing. Okay, thanks.